Labour's plans to impose VAT on private school fees have ignited a significant debate, largely due to the revelations surrounding a report used to justify the policy. The Institute for Fiscal Studies, the IFS, was authored by Luc Sibieta and projects that adding VAT to private school fees could raise up to 1.5 billion for the Treasury. According to Sibieta's analysis, this would minimally impact state schools, with an estimated 20,000 to 40,000 students, about 3% to 7% of private school students moving into the state school sector because of this impact, because of the impact of VAT. However, the credibility of this report has been questioned because of Sibieta's close relationship with Matthew Pennycock, a Labour minister whose department would play a role in implementing the VAT policy when it comes into effect. They were former housemates, and Pennycock served as best man at Sibieta's wedding. This connection raises concerns over potential conflicts of interest and has led to questions about whether the report might be overly sympathetic to Labour's position. Critics, including the Independent Schools Council, the ISC, argue that the numbers affected could be much higher than predicted, which would put an unprecedented strain on state schools and perhaps generate less revenue than expected. Already around 10,000 fewer students have enrolled in private schools this September, an indication, according to the ISC, that the VAT policy might accelerate this decline and potentially lead to the closure of smaller independent institutions, particularly those with an accent on educating SEND students and faith students, and students from military families. To counter this, the Conservative Party is calling for a delay in the policy, suggesting that implementation could be postponed until 2028 in areas where state schools are already full. The rationale is that imposing VAT without careful consideration could lead to overcrowded classrooms, reduced educational choice, and disruption for both teachers and students. The IFS has defended the impartiality of the analysis, stressing its commitment to rigorous but politically neutral research. Nevertheless, the personal connections involved have undoubtedly cast a shadow over the policy's justification, adding fuel to an already heated debate. Labour maintains that its funds that could be raised to support state education justify the imposition of VAT, but opponents continue to highlight concerns, and therefore the path remains contentious. I think any imposition of VAT on private education must be accompanied by an overall re-examination of the way we conduct education in schools generally in the UK. We're wasting so much time following practices which were set up in the 1950s and 1960s. We're now so many years in advance of that time, and we haven't improved. We haven't actually. A lot of the time, we haven't even implemented the reforms from the 1960s. With new technology, we should be using new techniques, and they should be rolled out as soon as possible. And this old factory process, this old sort of Ford factory mechanization, is ill-suited to the modern age. We need a new form of education to meet the demands of the 21st century.